Marabella was a small town nestled between mist-covered mountains and lush, endless valleys, known for its breathtaking views. Tourists came from all over the world, drawn by the allure of its serene lakes, vibrant festivals, and the legend of its hauntingly beautiful music echoing through the hills. The legend told of a violinist named Celia, whose music could make even the mountains weep. Though she was long gone now, her music still lingered. People believed her spirit haunted Marabella, playing her violin every evening, filling the town with both joy and sorrow. Elena, a young tourist with a love for history, arrived in Marabella, hoping to uncover the truth about the violinist's legend. She wandered the cobblestone streets, enchanted by the town's beauty, taking photos of the antique lampposts and ivy-clad houses. Every corner of Marabella seemed frozen in time, as though the town were a painting come to life. Elena was captivated by the air of mystery surrounding the town, feeling a connection she couldn't explain. On her first night, she heard the faint, melancholic sound of a violin floating through her hotel window. The music was heart-wrenching, filled with a longing that made her chest ache, and she felt an inexplicable urge to follow it. Guided by the music, she walked through the darkened streets, her footsteps echoing on the empty paths. The melody led her to an old abandoned house on the outskirts of the town, surrounded by wildflowers and overgrown vines. Intrigued, Elena pushed open the creaky wooden door, stepping into a dim, dust-covered room filled with forgotten relics. At the center of the room lay a violin, glistening in the moonlight, seemingly untouched by time. She picked up the violin, feeling a strange warmth radiating from it, as if it were alive. Suddenly, a chill ran down her spine, and she saw a figure in the shadows, her face pale and eyes hollow. The figure was Celia, the legendary violinist, bound to this house by a curse cast upon her centuries ago. Celia's sorrowful gaze met Elena's, and Elena felt an overwhelming wave of sadness, realizing the depth of Celia's suffering. Bound by love and betrayal, Celia had been cast to play her violin for eternity, forever separated from her true love, Andreas. Andreas, a foreign prince, had promised to return for her, but he never did, leaving her heartbroken and alone. Consumed by despair, Celia had poured her soul into her music, hoping he would someday hear her melody and return. Elena listened to Celia's story, feeling both pity and determination to help her find peace. "Is there anything I can do?" Elena asked, her voice barely a whisper. Celia nodded, her gaze flickering to the violin, the instrument that held her essence and bound her to Marabella. To break the curse, Elena needed to play the violin, pouring her own soul into the music just as Celia had. She hesitated, feeling unworthy of such a task, but Celia's sorrowful eyes convinced her. Elena lifted the violin, drawing the bow across the strings, and a haunting melody filled the air. As she played, memories of Celia's life flooded her mind, moments of joy, love, and unbearable heartache. Each note seemed to peel away layers of time, revealing the soul of the town, intertwined with Celia's tragedy. The room seemed to transform around her, and she found herself transported to an ancient ballroom. She saw Celia and Andreas dancing, their faces alight with happiness, unaware of the fate awaiting them. The music grew louder, filling Elena with Celia's anguish as the prince faded into darkness, leaving her alone. Tears streamed down Elena's face as she played, feeling the pain of a love that had been lost to time. The melody became frantic, echoing through the mountains, reaching every corner of Marabella. Villagers awoke, drawn to the haunting sound, feeling Celia's sorrow wash over them. The air grew thick, and the ghostly image of Celia appeared, her face peaceful yet sorrowful. She looked at Elena with gratitude, her spirit beginning to fade, free at last from her eternal torment. As the final note rang out, the violin crumbled to dust in Elena's hands, leaving only a faint shimmer. Celia's image disappeared, and a calm silence settled over the town, as though Marabella itself were finally at peace. The villagers, sensing the end of the curse, gathered outside, feeling an unspoken bond with each other and with Celia's memory. Elena sat in the empty room, exhausted but filled with a sense of accomplishment, knowing she had freed a lost soul. In the morning, the sun rose over Marabella, casting a golden light over the town, illuminating its beauty. Tourists continued to visit, captivated by the town's charm, but they sensed a new tranquility in the air. Elena knew that although Celia was gone, her spirit would forever be a part of Marabella. She left the town with a heavy heart, forever changed by the experience, carrying a piece of Celia's sorrow with her. Whenever she thought of Marabella, she heard the faint echo of a violin, a reminder of the love and loss entwined in its history. Back in her city, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that she had left part of herself in Marabella. She began to write about her experience, hoping to preserve Celia's story for future generations. Her story captured the hearts of readers, many of whom traveled to Marabella, drawn by the legend of the violinist. Marabella became a symbol of undying love and the pain of unfulfilled promises, etched into the hearts of those who visited. In time, Elena's story became as famous as Celia's legend, blending truth with mystery. People claimed to hear faint music on moonlit nights, believing it was Celia's way of thanking Elena. Some say if you listen carefully, you can still hear the violin in Marabella's hills, echoing through the ages. Elena returned to Marabella years later, feeling a strange sense of familiarity, as if she were coming home. She walked through the streets, feeling the presence of something old and eternal. The townspeople welcomed her, knowing who she was and what she had done. In their eyes, she had become part of Marabella's legend, as much a part of its soul as Celia. Elena visited the abandoned house once more, finding it overgrown but filled with a sense of peace. She placed a single white flower on the ground, a silent tribute to the violinist who had touched her life. Leaving the house, she felt a gentle breeze brush her face, as though Celia was saying goodbye. The town of Marabella continued to thrive, its beauty drawing visitors from across the globe. Elena's story lived on, carried by those who fell in love with Marabella's charm and mystery. In the quiet moments of her life, she could still hear the haunting melody of Celia's violin. It was a reminder of the tragedy, beauty, and love that defined Marabella. Though Celia's spirit was at peace, her music remained, woven into the fabric of the town. And as long as Marabella stood, so too would the legend of the violinist and the tourist who freed her. Elena's tale inspired countless others, each visitor leaving with their own story of Marabella. The town became a sanctuary for lost souls, a place where love and sorrow intertwined. Elena never forgot the feeling of holding that violin, the connection she felt with Celia. She often wondered if their spirits had somehow merged in that moment of music and sorrow. Marabella's mystery continued, each generation adding their own whispers to its legacy. Elena grew older, but her love for Marabella and its legend only deepened with time. The town aged gracefully, its charm unwavering, its beauty undiminished. Elena's final wish was to be laid to rest in Marabella, her soul forever bound to the town she loved. The townspeople honored her wish, burying her beside the old house, close to where she had freed Celia. They placed a violin-shaped stone on her grave, a tribute to the bond she had shared with Celia. Each year, Tourists left flowers on her grave, honoring the story of Elena and the violinist. Marabella flourished, its legend spreading far and wide, forever a place of love, loss, and beauty. Some say if you stand by Elena's grave at dusk, you can hear two violins playing in harmony. The sound floats over the town, filling the hearts of those who listen with a bittersweet peace. Marabella's spirit lives on, a timeless echo of beauty and sorrow, resonating through its hills. Visitors speak of feeling a profound peace, as if embraced by the town's mysterious, eternal love. The legend endures, a haunting reminder of the violinist and the tourist who became part of Marabella. And in the heart of Marabella, the music never truly fades, echoing forever in the mountains. The violin's melody became a symbol, a song of hope and remembrance for all who visited. Those who leave Marabella feel as though they carry a piece of it with them, forever bound to its beauty. Elena's story reminds the world that even the most tragic tales hold a glimmer of hope. Marabella will always be a sanctuary for those who seek peace, beauty, and a connection to something timeless. In the end, the music of Marabella is a tribute to love that never fades and sorrow that never dies. The town remains an eternal melody, a place where memories linger and spirits roam. And as long as there are those who believe, Marabella's legend will live on, echoing through the ages. The violin's notes dance in the wind, a haunting, beautiful reminder of love and loss. Each visitor to Marabella becomes part of its story, woven into the tapestry of its soul. The mountains stand silent, bearing witness to the town's timeless beauty and sorrow. Marabella endures, a sanctuary of peace and mystery, forever echoing with the music of the past. And though Elena is gone, her spirit remains, a guardian of Marabella's legacy. The town will never be forgotten, as long as there are hearts to remember its tale. Marabella's story lives on, a timeless legend whispered in the mountains and carried on the wind. In every corner of the town, there is a memory, a piece of a love story that never fades. And so, the town of Marabella, with its beauty and mystery, will continue to capture hearts for generations to come.